work in nutrition, but I've added red light therapy and sauna therapy to benefit those of Central Illinois. To learn more, click on my banner ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time for the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak, and thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio, happy to have back Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. How have you been, Chief Deputy?
I've been good. Very busy month of November.
Yeah, let's talk about this month of November. We had all types of things going on out in the community. What's first on your mind here?
Yep. So basically, first of all, I'd like to say once again, I know it's a couple days past that, but I want to thank all the veterans out there for their service. It's always great to recognize them in November. And moving on, we had a very interesting event there with the election coming up. We've at the sheriff's office leading up to it, I think emotions and tensions were running high. Yeah. And on an election day, we actually had something unique that in 25 years of law enforcement, I found ourselves visiting every precinct throughout the county. That was at the request of the county clerk, Jody Badman, request that we basically stop in and patrol those locations just to be present, to set everybody's mind at ease for the election judges. And that consisted of the 29 precincts. It was 4 of us deputies. The investigator and myself was making the rounds and stopping and visiting with folks and just being out there at all the voting polling places.
Sure. 4 deputies, 29 precincts, a lot for you guys to keep track of on election day right there. What really was it that you're looking for? What are you really patrolling out there?
So with the emotions setting high of everybody, we was basically we found that there, we studied up on it, and there was some information provided that there's actually statutes that provide us the ability to file a charge for somebody that was, trying to campaign out in front of a polling place or solicit for a particular candidate, or just in general, just causing a problem at the polling place. Sure. And so, and thankfully we didn't have anything. We had, I think, one minor incident where somebody was, soliciting for one particular candidate. He kind of laughed and moved on after it was pointed out, but it was just, like I say, the voting judges there, the precinct judges were just appreciative that we were stopping in. It was a good chance to visit. I think some of the guys, if we'd ate food at every one of the places that they were offering, we probably couldn't have made it to all 29. So it was a great day. Really enjoyed doing that. And it's something that just pretty enjoyable. Plus it kept everybody's mind at ease that we were out there.
Yeah, I'm happy that there was some extra care there. And of course, those election workers, they don't deserve any type of violence or to have any type of problems during that day. So just having CCSO out there on patrol, I'm sure that word was being spread. And I'm glad election day went well. And a newer operation for CCSO in this year. I don't expect this to come in 2020.
No, I think it was a rare case. And, I think in the future we might be popping in to say hi, just to say hi. But as far as tensions running high, and the reason we were doing it this year was completely different. And luckily we got through that with no problems. Sure. So, but then of course, I always laugh. It is deer season. Sure. Of course we got, when I say deer season, I know everybody, that hunts thinks shotgun deer season, archery season. For us, it's traffic crash season. Right. We had in the last month, we've had 39 crashes, and probably over 15 to 20 of those are resulted in deer crashes. Wow. And the number's still going up. I done reports even this morning, approved them from over the weekend where we had additional, I think it's a ongoing problem that this time of year that we deal with. And I just want to remind all the drivers out there, anywhere that you're out in rural areas, we've even had deer crashes in the past on, in close proximity to town. Sure. I can think of a time we had one in basically right in the middle of Kincaid, really? On 104. They just get kind of out of their wits and running everywhere. And I want everybody to be mindful of the deer's, really on the move.
So a little over half of those crashes in total, about deer related crashes right there. And I think we might have hit it on in the past. Are you seeing more happening during the evening than in the daytime, or is it pretty split?
It tends to be more heightened early morning, and than after hours at night. And that's going to fall into the factors that you can see them easier during the day and not have the crashes.
I see. Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
but aside from that, we had a busy day with basically paper services. We had about 72 paper service attempts, and 36 of those got served. 6 major traffic arrests resulted in 3 DUIs. So it's about on par with the normal activities for the sheriff's office, with the exception of the extra detail there for election day, and of course the extra crashes pertaining to deer crashes. So that's kind of what November's look like. Of course, we have Thanksgiving right around the corner, and that puts whole new challenges for the sheriff's office whenever we start looking at the old famous Blackout Wednesday.
I was going to say, you got to put an asterisk next to a certain point here as we move into November and these holidays, because you just mentioned something crazy right there. As a society, we've picked up, and I've participated in the past there, never driven, of course. Blackout Wednesday. People that have never heard of this, what is it, Chief Deputy?
So basically, it's some of the problems. If you think about it, most people are off on Thursday. Yeah. You've got a lot of college students home that's reuniting and visiting with friends, families in town, and everybody that participates in Blackout Wednesday is basically going out the night before to consume alcohol, and it gained popularity with blackout because they gained so much that they would black out. That obviously, it's over the years, it's increased to participate or be in what I would call basically competition with New Year's or St. Patrick's Day, things like that. It really puts the motorists out there that participate in this in jeopardy of receiving a DUI or getting in a fatal crash or injuring somebody. So, obviously we want people to go out and have fun. We're excited about the upcoming, food and fun and spending time with the family on Thanksgiving, but I want not only those that participate in it, there's all kind of acronyms or sayings out there. Buzz driving is drunk driving, and if you feel different, you drive different. All of those things, are a campaign to try and curb the problem with that. The only thing I would remind people is that would be out participating in that, find you a designated driver. Make it home safe. If you drink, don't drive. There will be statewide. There's typically a extra patrol out, what they call a saturation patrol, where they'll be putting extra bodies, extra law enforcement out there looking for impaired drivers. So just want to remind everybody that, not only do you want to remind yourself to remind your loved ones that, those hours when that bar is closing, or, a lot of times later in that evening, if you've got young ones out driving, you don't want to fall victim to something that's out of your control. So it would be a good idea, mindful that those late hours of Blackout Wednesday has the potential to have impaired drivers on the road, and just hope everybody's safe about that and be mindful of their surroundings and of the fact that they call it Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah, I forget about our underage drivers that of course aren't drinking, and they're just out maybe having a good time on that Wednesday. Definitely should probably have them off the roads, be the best way to go there. But yeah, you mentioned it there, Chief Deputy, Blackout Wednesday. So you mentioned New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, these are holidays where drinking is definitely popular around it, but Blackout Wednesday, it's a perfect storm.
Yes.
It's such a great thing you mentioned there with college students coming back in, and everybody just wants to have a great time tonight. It's 2024, Chief Deputy. There are so many ways to have your driver, a designated driver, or an app. Any other words that you'd like to have for Blackout Wednesday?
No, I like I said, I want everybody to enjoy the holidays and be safe, but be mindful of the fact that it is, the alcohol impairment and the challenges that go with driving while you're impaired, plus the consequences if you're caught. The thing is, we don't want to. We'd love to get through the whole holiday season with no DUIs, but unfortunately we've got a job to do to be out there making sure that our other drivers are safe. And so we will be out in force to try and curb any of those issues.
Absolutely. There's our November update from Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's update. Before we go on this break here, can we remind people out there, as the snow probably going to start rolling in soon, types of things we should have in our car, things we should be looking out for?
Yeah. November brings colder weather. As that increases, we want to be mindful of having your car's vehicles prepped for the weather. There's things like a blanket, heating. They've got the little break open hand warmers. That's something. Water. You want to have bottle or two of water in there. Phone chargers, it's always a good idea. And if your vehicle's down, you want to have some type of auxiliary phone charge, so that way you can make phone calls.
Sure.
That's just some of the things that, and I figure we'll touch base on that again, but it's always a good idea to start prepping that. Think of a miniature way to shovel that snow out. Cat litter, that's always a good thing to have in the car for traction if you get stuck. But it's upon us, and we just need to get prepared.
It's here. We had a great conversation with Jeff Stoner of the Emergency Management Agency, and I was reminded that my dad never let me leave the home during Christmas time with like flip-flops on, some sandals, because you never know when you're going to be stranded out there, and you just leave the house prepared at all times during those winter months. We have Chief Deputy Jim Baker in studio of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Got to take ourselves a break, but much more to talk about with a really cool topic in this back half, so stay tuned for that. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is Leah Stuckmeyer with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WTIM on its many platforms, AM, FM, and online, brings you Taylorville Tornado football and boys basketball all season long and playoff games of all teams. Tornado sports on WTIM and stream live on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com are brought to you by
First National Bank, Advanced Eye Care, and McDonald's.
all in Taylorville.
The purple and gold are coming your way. The Taylorville Tornadoes are gonna do it today.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know whether it's a new home or a new car. You worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact me, Daniel Rizzo, agent at Daniel Rizzo Agency, Inc. at 823 West Spresser Street, Suite 1 in Taylorville, or call 217-562-4433 today.
Your Christian County Health Department at their new location, 730 North Pawnee, across from Taylorville Junior High School, has both COVID and flu vaccines available. And both high-dose and regular dose flu vaccines are in stock. You can get both the COVID and flu vaccine shots at the same time. And there are a handful of RSV vaccines available. Call the Christian County Health Department now for your appointment at 217-824-4113. That's 824-4113. Your Christian County Health Department is always working for a healthier future.
Hello, Panther fans. This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans in Taylorville, Shelbyville, Effingham, and Eastern Illinois to listen for Panther football on your information station, WTIM, on its many platforms on AM, FM, and online. Hear the Panthers as they compete in the Ohio Valley Conference. Follow the Panthers this season on your information station, WTIM, on AM, FM, and online.
Perry Stanfa here, owner of Central Illinois Truck Service in Greenville. If you're a trucker, you know you gotta keep your rig on the road. Let our certified techs using the latest software keep you on the road. Click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and let us work for you.
SIU Family Medicine wants the best health for you and your family. Be a champion. Protect your loved ones. The SIU Center for Family Medicine of Taylorville is accepting new patients. Click their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com to schedule your appointment.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station. This morning's show with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We got a November operations update, some other things going on in the county from Chief Deputy in that first half. Now let's talk about an interesting topic here, as we have family members coming in from all different places, and we're meeting here, maybe in Christian County, let's just say, and trying to transport firearms. This could be a popular thing. I'm sure you've heard these types of questions out there, but what kind of information would you like to get out to the people?
Yeah, so, every month we try and find new content. I received a phone call recently about somebody that with Thanksgiving, a lot of folks coming in to visit other family. And one of the questions that was posed to me was about legally transporting their firearm
Yeah.
from out of state and things of that nature. And then what they could do potentially for a resident of the state if they keep a firearm in their vehicle or things of that nature. And once we dove into it and started talking, it was actually a pretty good topic.
Sure.
So I just want to remind everybody that, to possess and carry, transport a firearm in Illinois, you have to have a FOID card, and it's a firearms identification card. It's easily accessible through the state of Illinois. It doesn't take long at all too much anymore with the online purchase. It's a $10 fee and it's good for 10 years. So non-residents wouldn't have to comply with that. They just have to legally transport that, which we'll discuss here in just a minute. But basically for those in state, you have to have a FOID card. The FOID card is something that I realized when we dove into this getting content, that you actually, once you receive that FOID card, if you happen to change locations of address or a name change, there are statutes to that say that you basically have 60 days to basically to do an update to notify the state police of your address change. So you want to be mindful of that. It was something that we hadn't thought about, and you have 21 calendar days to do that, as far as a 21 days for an address change, 60 days for the actual submission for a name change. So with that, and that information can easily be found on the state's website. If you just go to Illinois State Police, and actually under the ISP, FSB Firearms Service Bureau, you can get all of this information. They provide you, name change, address change. And then we get into transporting a firearm. And basically, without reading a bunch of mumbo jumbo that people get confused on it, basically the firearm needs to be broken down in a non-functional state, or it could be unloaded and in a case. It can't be immediately accessible from the driver. And basically it could be in a shipping container box or some type of containment that fully encloses the firearm. That's what you got to remember. Now, there would be exceptions to that for somebody that has a concealed carry. Concealed carry, that falls under a whole new line item. I'm just talking about transporting for somebody out of state or somebody that is en route to and from a hunting or sporting event, or just carrying their firearms. It needs to be unloaded. So basically, the key there to remember is of it being completely encased and unloaded. Unloaded is the other key feature to that. It has to be unloaded. You can carry ammunition in the same containment. It just has to be, the firearm itself has to be unloaded, but you could have ammunition and the firearm in the same case. That comes up quite a bit. So basically for out of state people, they just need to follow that transport. You got to follow that transport requirements that says it has to be unloaded and cased in a full containment case.
If you're traveling within Illinois, you're going to another place in Illinois, do you follow all the same rules or?
Yes. Yes.
Same
So it's anything, and that's not only in a vehicle, it's any motorized vehicle. So if you think about a boat, an ATV, things of that nature, it has to be encased and unloaded.
Golf cart.
So golf cart. Yes, it's
around.
motor. Yep. So you would fall under that statute. So, and then there's things in there that come up when you think of family members driving your vehicle, and you have somebody that has a firearm in there. The key there is, I could go with the best practice. Always, it's what I'm gonna be driving that vehicle that would be in possession of that firearm, a FOID card. That's your best practice. But there is something built into that statute that allows somebody, you have to knowingly be transporting it. So if you borrow my vehicle and I have the firearm in there and it's cased up, just because it's in there, you're not, in violation of law if you don't knowingly, if you're unaware that it's in there.
This is all really great information to know, Chief Deputy, as we're getting close to the season. Got about 50 seconds left, or any other information that you'd want to get out to the people, you can get that out.
Yeah. So just real quick, also keep in mind any crossbows or bow and arrows, they have to be in the same way, cased or made inoperable. A quick way to do that is you can put a padlock on the strings, keeps those those weapons legal as well. Aside from that, busy November, we've got some updates that finally, after a long summer, the jail roof has been completed on 301 West Franklin. We're glad to report that the water today was a good test. We do not have any leaks. So moving forward with that, it's been great. And still pushing forward with the rest of the jail renovation, but it's going to be a busy December coming up.
All really great stuff. We'll get to talking about that in December there, Chief Deputy. And thank you for bringing this great topic there. You can find more. I'm going to read off the website name there, ispfsb.com. You can find all that information there on the transport and firearms. Chief Deputy, thank you so much for taking the time being here with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office.
Have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday.
You as well. Happy holidays to you, Chief Deputy. And this is the end of our WTIM morning show. Thank you all for tuning in.
Made missiles on targets deep inside of Russia. And that's a move that Russian President Putin has said would mean that the U.S. and its NATO allies are at war with Russia. President